another bowl. And cheese usually comes out of the cloth quite nicely because most of the water has had time to drip out. I would say to leave it in a minimum of overnight, and 36 hours is also not too long. So 24 is okay, and it just slightly, as I said, slightly ferments and slightly gives a nice cheesy taste to the cashew. Okay, now we're going to take, you can see the cashew, and here we're going to add the olive oil. One second. Okay, we're going to add the olive oil. Okay. We're going to add it slowly. No, I'm going to add the whole thing. Olive oil, salt, and okay. For this recipe, we're going to later stuff the eggplant slices with this cheese. But this cheese can be used for any number of things. It can be eaten just like this. If you want to add other flavors, you can add garlic, you can add scallions, dill, whatever you might like. Do the cheese and just serve it as a cheese. And obviously, it's parve, right? It's not really a dairy cheese. So this is a great advantage. Okay, so as I said, we just whipped up the cheese with the olive oil and salt. And I'm just going to set it aside until we're ready to use it. Okay, we're heading back to our food processor. And we're going to be continuing with the lasagna roll recipe. Okay, right? Eggplants in the oven. Got everything going here. We have the tomato spread. Okay, the tomato spread I also made last night. Basically what I did is just took what I said, about 2 kilos, that's about 4+ pounds of tomatoes, just quartered them, cut a few cloves of garlic, and stuck them in the oven. It's good here also not to fall asleep while they're in the oven so they don't get too burned, but the idea really is, as you see here, they're a little bit burned on top, which is fine. And most of the liquid cooked out. You do want to let most of the liquid of the tomatoes bake out. So this made it, again, make this in your Saladmaster pan. And this took about an hour and a half. Okay, so that's why I did it before our workshop. So to make sure that it would be ready and I would be able to show you the next step. So we're now going to take out all the tomatoes and put them into the food processor. I did cut pieces, a few cloves of garlic in here as well. Or now at this time of year, we have actually fresh garlic. So I put in a few heads of fresh garlic and all the tomatoes. I said this took about an hour and a half at 180 degrees, okay? So we're now gonna process this. Not a long time because we want it to still be not completely smooth, although everything is taste, or as we say, tambareak. So however you like it, if you want it to be really smooth, just leave it in your food processor longer and it'll be really smooth. So I'm gonna process it. It's gonna make a lot of noise for a minute. So Dan, if you want to say something, go ahead.
You can see that the idea is not to crush it very much. We want to fill the tomatoes in the, it's going to be the underground, and then we're going to put the eggplant above it. So it's like you can do it by home, a casserole sauce tomato, without any conservative, you know, all the E stuff, E200, E300, here you have it clean.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is add, as you see in the recipe, we had the tomatoes and the garlic. We're gonna add olive oil. Since olive oil doesn't do so well at high heat, it's better to cook the tomatoes first and then add the oil later. So that's what we're doing. And we're gonna add a little salt. Again, I always recommend taste it so that you know if you put enough salt, because how else will you? Anyway, I'm gonna blend this again for another minute. Okay. All right, our tomatoes are blended. You can see in the side camera what it looks like. Okay, and we're gonna leave these aside for a second. And I'm checking the cauliflower, right? We put cauliflower, we blended up the cauliflower, processed it, and now it's cooking, and I wanna make sure that it's not burning. Okay, it's doing well, and I actually added a little bit of water because I wanted to make sure it cooks quickly. And so I added a little bit of water, and we'll wait for that to continue cooking. Okay, we're gonna now, while that cooks, before we make our cauliflower spread and continue with our other things, we're gonna move to the salad recipe. Okay, we're gonna use our great Saladmaster combo processor.
Bracha, can you let me suggest a suggestion how to preserve the nutrition of the food even better?
Yes.
Instead of putting half a cup of water, okay, you can put ice cube, and it will be better.
Okay.
Okay, because you will have the moisture, and from the other side, it's not going to leak the vitamins out and the minerals.
Great. Thank you, Dan.
No problem. מה שהצעתי לה זה להשתמש בקוביות קרח, ואז הקוביות קרח ישמרו יותר טוב על הערך התזונתי. הכרובית זה אחד הירקות הכי טובים במלחמה בסרטן, ומלא ערך תזונתי. אז מה שאנחנו עושים בקטע הזה, מוסיפים קוביות קרח במקום להוסיף חצי כוס מים, ואז אין את הזליגה של הוויטמינים והמינרלים.
Okay, so we're gonna make the Kohlrabi salad. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna. Here is a Kohlrabi, a rather large Kohlrabi. Came from my organic farmer Ben. Thank you, Ben. And I'm gonna cut this in half, and maybe, and I think in quarters. And what's great about our Saladmaster is that I don't have to peel it. I can just hold the piece, and it will in fact grate almost like magic. It grates the inside and just have the peel left. So chick-chock, as we say, very quickly. We have, just one second, I have the wrong bowl. Okay, so we're gonna do the rest of the kohlrabi. And as you see, very quickly, we get all the inside and none of the peel. So it's a great way very quickly to any root type vegetable works great in this way with beets, other things that we don't really want the peel in our salad, but we want to get all the inside. So we have the kohlrabi. As I said, I have a few more here, but we don't need them all here tonight. And fennel. We're going to add fennel to the salad. And I see, here's my celery. Okay, we're going to add the fennel. The fennel, we don't mind using the whole thing. So again, very quickly, using the conus, we have here, we now have our kohlrabi and fennel slightly in large grates here in the salad. And we're going to add carrots, which maybe usually here you can choose. I actually wrote in the recipe finely grated, but tonight I think we'll make them also in large chunks. And so we're, okay, so we grated, we used our Saladmaster. And as we say, chick-chock, very quickly. We're able to grate carrots, kohlrabi, and fennel. And hold on for 1 minute. Think about that salad while I check my cauliflower. Okay, everything's under control. So we put in kohlrabi, we put in carrots, we put in fennel. We're going to take a red pepper, and this we're going to chop by hand because we wanted a nice little squares. So there'll be different textures and colors in this lovely salad. We're going to chop the cauliflower. I said, and we've added the cauliflower. We're gonna celery, okay? A few stalks of celery. We have lovely celery today. So also, again, this is the ingredients we have in this salad this evening. Feel free always to substitute. You don't have kohlrabi? There's something else. You don't have fennel? Skip the fennel. Fresh vegetables, let's say, as long as we cut them up Mix it well. Pretty surefire. But we're going to have a very pretty salad here this evening because we have the kohlrabi just 1 minute while we get our parsley and scallions. Okay, as I said in the recipe, we can here we have parsley, which already washed and gotten ready. We're gonna just chop up a little bit of the parsley. You should try to eat lots and lots of greens. And for those of you who've been in some of my other cooking workshops, that's why we make a lot of pestos and green spreads. But today we're going to put a little parsley in the salad. As I said, scallions, red onion, white onion, whatever we have on hand. The most important thing I think about cooking is use what you got in your refrigerator, or use the things that you really need to use that you should have used last week but you didn't. So tonight we're going to chop an onion into the salad. Okay. Okay, so we have this onion, and okay. All right, I'm making a mess here tonight, and we're chopping our onion into the salad. And we'll be able to mix up everything, and I think I've exceeded the capacity of this bowl, so you'll wait 1 second while I get a bigger bowl that we can mix it in. Okay. All right. Remember tonight we're making this lovely salad. As you can see here, all the colors. You can get the side view, Dan. Beautiful colors. Okay. And we're going to make our dressing. Simple. Basically, my favorite: oil, olive oil, lemon juice, salt. And tonight we're also going to add a little balsamic vinegar. It's going to give it a little bit of kick. So just 1 minute. Okay, so here we will be olive oil, lemon juice. Okay, this lemon juice comes in a jar because we squeeze the lemons. We went to all our neighbors who have great lemon trees. For some reason, our lemon tree isn't so great, but thank God we have neighbors who have great lemon trees. So we have fresh lemon juice. I highly recommend. Spend a little time, squeeze a lot of lemons, put it in a jar, have it in the refrigerator for a few days or longer. So we've added our lemon juice, salt, balsamic vinegar. Okay. And tonight we'll mix this together. A few rips of my pork and put it on the salad. And here, and we have a lovely Kohlrabi salad. I think it'll be great next to whatever else you want to serve it this Pesach or anytime during the year. Okay, just 1 minute. We're going to put it in a bowl. And here we have our, want to do the side camera? Here we have our Kohlrabi salad. Okay, we're going to put this aside, and in a minute, we'll see our whole meal in front of us. Okay, so we have cauliflower. You'll excuse me 1 more minute while I go to check on my cauliflower. Okay, while I was in the oven, you see that our pear crisp looks nicely toasted on top. And I think that after about a half hour in the oven that it's done. And anyway, we'll take this out, and in a minute, we'll also see how that looks. Here, I'm just showing you my eggplant slices. Not quite finished, and going to take a minute to turn them all over so they get done on both sides. And Dan, if you want to say something about the pots, it's a great time to do that. Okay. Okay. All right. So we, Dan, are there any questions? Any questions in the chat that
I don't see question. You have a very good translation. So there are no, but so I don't know. If there is a question, you can ask here in the chat. Also, our friends from abroad, you can ask here, feel free to ask question and Bracha will answer.
Yes.
אם יש שאלות, אתם מוזמנים רגע.
Okay.
Okay, so we can go forward.
Okay, we're going to go back.
Very good. There's no problem.
1 second. Okay. We are going to take a large plate and take our, remember back to our tomato spread that we did in the food processor. Okay, so the tomato spread we're going to take and put on the platter. I think this might be obstructing, something else obstructing our views. Are we okay? Okay, so we're going to take the tomato spread and spread it nicely on the platter. As you can see, it's not, if you want to, you could also, I wanted to leave it rather thick. If you want to make it a little thinner, you can also do it that way. And just add a little water. But here I wanted it a little thick, and I spread it out on the platter for serving. And in a minute, we'll get to the next step. Okay, so here we see it. Okay, that's our tomato spread. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. Okay. Okay, just a minute. We're gonna make a little space here. And the next thing we're going to do is make our cauliflower spread. In the meantime, the cauliflower got done. Imagine it didn't take too long. Okay, 1 second. Okay, here is our cauliflower. As you can see, cooked. It went from being pureed raw to being pureed cooked very quickly.
Can you show us near to the camera, Bracha?
Yes, here we go. You can see the cauliflower. If I had all the time in the world, I would let it even cook a few more minutes and until it was completely dry. It's still got a slight amount of water in it, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't really matter so much. Just so tonight, so we're gonna be, okay, heading to the cauliflower spread recipe. We have, as I said, tonight we're using what we call young garlic. So it's a whole head, right? The cloves haven't formed yet. So usually I would use a few cloves, but because it's this head, I'll use this head of garlic. We need our lemon juice. Okay. Okay. Got all our parts. Food processor back together. A little bit hot. Okay. This is a cauliflower spread. You can sort of think hummus, but this one's made out of cauliflower. And you're going to put it in the food processor. Lemon juice, our balsamic vinegar.
Bracha, I think the camera inside your phone need to fix later, okay? Because we don't have
are we not? Wait a minute.
Yitzhak can take care after that.
Okay, okay. I'll leave it for the technical guy. That's what we have him around for.
Yitzhak, you need to open the video. It's yeah, maybe it's get warm too much or something.
Okay, so I'm going to continue in the meantime. All right, I added lemon juice, balsamic vinegar, turmeric, which is always a good taste and a great color, salt. And go back to Zoom. Our garlic, right? Our whole head of our garlic, what would it be? Garlic cloves, and our olive oil. Okay. Okay, Dan, I'm going to be making noise for a minute, so feel free to talk about Saladmaster. Here we go.
Okay, the idea of the cauliflower is to get to a texture of, you know, that you can paste it on a bread or something, like hummus, okay? So you put all the ingredients together and go with the food processor. And don't be afraid, you can see the steam that's getting out, to do it even if it's warm, okay? I just will explain to our friends in Hebrew. You can see the eggplant after baking them very well. The secret of the eggplant is that the slices need to be the same. Don't do one thick and one thin. It needs to be the same, and then you can have a fixed eggplant to do the roll. And the taste is going to be great and not bitter.
Okay. All right. As you saw, we pureed this for a little while, and you can see it's a lovely yellow color from the turmeric, and it's something that we would probably serve at actually room temperature or even cold. Right now it's sort of steaming hot, but in just a minute we will plate that. But first, we'll let that cool a titch. And not all our eggplant slices are done. You can see they've been in the oven for, I guess, about half hour. They'll probably take more like another 10 or 15 minutes, but some of the slices were done enough so that I can demonstrate to you how we're going to do this, right? We cut them all lengthwise. We're going to take the eggplant slice, put a teaspoon of cheese, and roll up the eggplant, and it will get, excuse me, I'm moving the kohlrabi. Right, we have our plate of tomato spread, and we're going to be taking the eggplant roll and placing them around on the tomato spread. So here I'll do a few more so we can get an idea of how lovely this dish is going to look. Very impressive. As you can see, it wasn't very difficult, but very impressive looking. It's good to impress the guests, right? So that's what we're going to do with this. And again, this can be made and served actually at room temperature. And as you see, you can put it, refrigerate the cheese, and it can all be put together at the last minute, although it doesn't have to be at the last minute. And can do it in advance as well, and just serve it at room temperature. So I think I'm giving you here the idea. Obviously, we would fill up the tomato spread with the eggplant rolls, with the cashew cheese filling, and all parve, right? You can go with whatever else you want to serve it with. Okay, so I think we're one more second. We're going to plate our cauliflower spread in just a minute. Okay, cauliflower spread is a great spread. Put on bread, put on matzah, does the trick. Like I said, I would advise serving this either, whoops, here we go. Either from the fridge or at room temperature. It's like, as you can see, it's a very smooth, very spreadable spread. Swirl it in the pan, just like you might do with hummus, a titch of olive oil, and a little green in the center. So here we have our cauliflower spread. Okay, so we have now our cauliflower spread, which we can put out with our matzah, or anytime during the year with bread or whatever else, or some nice crudités, some nice vegetables. We have our lasagna eggplant rolls, cashew cheese on the tomato spread. We have our lovely Kohlrabi salad with fennel, carrots, parsley, etc. And our dessert our pear, whoops, lost it. Our pear nut crisp for dessert. So,
Bracha, I have a question about the pear. We need to upside down. It's or it stay like that when you reserve it.
I would leave it like this. Just cut it. It can be served. Actually, it can be served. I'll serve it out with a spoon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So all that we have to say after this is B'tei Avod, bon appetit, Chag Sameach. For those of you who are having Pesach.
נעבור רגע לאנגלית, תצטרפו אליי חזרה.
Enjoy. Any questions?
Bracha, I just want to ask you, it was very, very nice, everything. And I want to ask you about your doing. There are people like see you now from abroad also. How we can take advantage of your knowledge and to learn from you more? How it's the way to contact you?
The best is by my email. Do you want to put my email in the chat, Dan? brachazuriel@gmail.com.
I will put your email in a moment.
Okay, that would be great. And questions, thoughts, anybody? Just a moment. Okay. Dan, thank you very much.
I will open the microphone to everybody. You can and let's finish the evening. Just a moment. I want also to tell you some stuff, but first of all, let's say thank you very much for the Queen.
Thank you, Bracha. Thank you. Very interesting.
Oh, good. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. It's great to see you all.
Your grandchildren. Great.
So that I just want to tell you, they were supposed to be here. Some of my grandchildren were supposed to be here to be my helpers tonight, but unfortunately they're all in quarantine because kids of their class are sick. So next time.
אוקיי, אני אגיד כמה דברים בעברית. תודה רבה ברכה, קודם כל. אני רוצה להגיד רק לכל מי שלא מכיר את הכלים שלנו ורוצה להכיר אותם יותר טוב, עכשיו שנגמר כבר העוצר וכבר חזרנו לעניינים, מוזמנים להזמין אותנו להדגמות. אנחנו מגיעים, מריחינים מספר מנות כדי להדגים בדיוק את היכולות של הכלים, ומי שאין לו אותם מוזמן מאוד בכבוד ונבוא לקראתו, תרכוש אותם ושיהיה לו אותם לכל החיים בבית. דליה, את יכולה רגע חצי קטנה, סליחה שאני שואל, לספר לנו קצת על החיים שלכם עם הכלים, מה השתנה?
אוקיי, פתחתי מיקרופון. החיים שלנו נפלאים עם זה, אני מבשלת רק בסירים האלה, חיסכון, אני לא משתמשת בשמן, מהירות הבישול היא נפלאה, חוסרת המון זמן בכל, ואני מתנסה בכל המקומות שאני יושבת קבוע, מוסיפה את ההערות שנאמרות בעל פה, נעזרת בכל, ואנחנו מאוד נהנים, ולא רק אנחנו, כי אנחנו גם משתפים את הנכדים והחבורה, והחברים שלנו, ואני מעבירה להם את התורה הגדולה שאני לומדת.
נהדר, דליה, אני רק רוצה לשאול אותך, כמה קורסי בישול חווית איתנו ביחד? כאילו, מה קורה אחרי שלקוח קונה, איזה שירות הוא מקבל?
אין לי מילים לספר על השירות הנפלא, הנהדר, הסובלני, המסביר, היוצא לקראת, שאני מקבלת מכם. מאוד אוהבת את כולכם, באמת, דן, אין שירות כזה בארץ, אין.
תודה, דליה, אנחנו גם זכינו בלקוחות מדהימים, את עזרת לנו.
אתה הבאת יבוא של סירים ויבוא של שירות.
איזה כיף. שואלת יפה, איזה כלים יש לך בבית?
וואו. כל הכלים, יש לי סיר גדול של 10 ליטר, כמה סירי סוטאז' בגדלים השונים, המחבת המרובע האחרון, לספר להם גם על המשולשים?
כן, כן, לגמרי, פטריסיה עשתה לנו שירות נהדר. לפני זה לא הבאנו את זה כמעט לארץ.
וואו, אני אבקש מיורם שיביא לי רגע את זה, בסדר, מלמטה, יעלה לי את המשולש עם סיר?
אין בעיה, בשמחה.
יורק, אתה מוכן להביא לי סיר?
לפעמים הדברים הקטנים זה שינוי מאוד גדול.
סיר, אחד הסירים, לא גדול, ומשולש, ממקרר. המטבח למטה ואני למעלה, אז יביאו לי את הסיר. באחת ההופעות, באחת הסדנאות של פטריץ, של הדודה מליסבון, כן?
ולנסיה.
מבלנסיה, אני ראיתי לה מקרר משולש, והיא שמה סיר עליו, והולכת מהקיריים להגשה, אמרתי לו, וואו, את זה אני צריכה. ואז קניתי כאלה, וזה נפלא, וקניתי מתנות, זה היה דמי חנוכה, לחברים יקרים, לבני המשפחה, והכל יש לי, ומרית יש לי, מה עוד חסר לי?
נהדר, מצוין, כשיצאו דברים אנחנו תמיד מפרסמים, אבל נהדר. אז
בהזדמנות זו, הנה כבר יורם בא עם הסיר, רציתי רק לשאול, אתה סיפרת על סיר של 3, רגע, או באמת, במשולש? רגע. במקרה יורם מביא לי את המשולש.
פנימי?
רגע, תכף יגיע המשולש, אז הם מוכרחים לראות. מה שרציתי, מה התחלתי?
אמרת משהו לגבי סיר 3 ליטר.
כן, אתה אמרת על סיר 3 ליטר, אבל לא ראיתי, לא היה שום פרסום, רק הודעה קטנה.
אנחנו נעביר את המייל הזה עוד פעם, הרצנו אותו רק פעם אחת, יצא מבצע השקה של ווק מושלם, שהגודל שלו 3 מטר, והוא מגיע עם אביזר מיוחד שזה רשת ייבוש.
נכון.
אז אני אשלח לכם את זה בימים הקרובים. כן.
כי יש לי את הווק ויש לי את הסיר היגוי שבמקרה אותו יורם הביא.
דליה, יפה אומרת תראי קצת למעלה, היא לא רואה, תרימי לה את זה למצלמה.
רואים? רגע, זה הסיר היגוי, החלק שממלאים מים, החלק הרשת שעליה, יש לי, רגע, גם את זה, זה חלקים שלי, עכשיו הנה המשולש, שיפה זה צמוד למקרר, אני לוקחת את הסיר מהאש, רואים? לא רואים, רגע, אני חייבת. עכשיו רואים?
עכשיו כן, הנה.
אבל נגיד שזה מונח על השולחן, רגע, אולי נעשה ככה, רגע.
כן, תורידי את המצלמה.
תורידי את המצלמה. אוקיי, רואים? לא רואים. תוריד עוד יום.
אני לא יכול, עד כמה?
זהו. טוב, נניח שזה מונח על השולחן.
כן.
אני מניחה את הסיר על זה, הסיר החם. הולכת עם הסיר לשולחן ההגשה.
תעשי ככה, שירות.
רואים יורם, מצוין, רואים.
מתמגנט עם הסיר.
שם בשולחן ומחלקת את המזון, וכולם מתפעלים, וכולם מתרגשים, וזה יופי של דבר.
איזה יופי. בגלל שהכלים מתאימים גם לקיריים אינדוקציה, הם מתמגנטים מלמטה, והמשולש הזה, אם תקפלו אותו לצד השני, בפנים הוא גם הופך לקוטר קטן יותר. זה אני לא יודע אם את יודעת. יודעים את זה? זהו. זה בעיקר לסירים הקטנים.
זה לכל הסירים, גם לסיר של 10 ליטר.
נכון. נהדר.
טוב, ההצגה לא הצליחה, אבל אין דבר, וזה מצוין.
מה הסיר הכי גדול?
שלי 10 ליטר. עם מרקים אני מכינה בכמויות.
עכשיו יפה הזמינו הרבה, במפעל אין מספיק, לא מצליחים לייצר 16 ליטר בשביל הפסח.
וואו.
אבל הם ענקיים, זה קוטר, זה למשפחה של משהו כמו 20 אנשים, 30 אנשים.
אני לא יודעת לבשל בסירים קטנים.
כן, אז יש גם סירים
גדולים.
לגמרי. הגודל של 16 ליטר זה קוטר של 38 סנטימטר בארוך.
10 ליטר הוא עצום, הוא מספיק להרבה, אני מכינה מרק, מחלקת לילדים, לנכדים, כמות יפה.
זה מתאים לאורז פרסי?
בוודאי מתאים לאורז פרסי, כי זה עובד יפה מאוד גם העניין של תפוחי אדמה למטה.
נכון, נכון.
אין שום בעיה.
הוא ענק, הוא ענק.
דליה, תודה רבה לך. יורם, תודה רבה לכם. סליחה אם טרטרנו. ככה טיפה נכנסו...
אני מצטערת שההצגה לא הצמיחה יותר. אם הייתי יודעת, הייתי למטה כבר עם ה...
רק לספר שמי שרואה את הרשת הזו, עידוי שרכשתם לאחרונה, היא מתאימה בדיוק לקוטר של ה-23 סנטימטר.
נכון.
אפשר לעשות קומות נוספים, זה נהדר. ה-23 סנטימטר זה גם הכלי הכפול, וזה גם הכלי שאנחנו אופים איתו את העוגה בהדגמות, כשאנחנו מדגימים עוגה של 23 סנטימטר.
אני עושה איתו גם את הסלמון, שאני עושה...
נכון, נהדר. תודה רבה, יקרים, תודה רבה. רק נספר לכם שיום רביעי מחכה לנו סדנה מקסימה, יחד עם הזוג האנרגטי, תמי וסיגל, מקווה שתחזיקו מעמד בקצב עם כולם ביחד. וזהו, ברכה, תודה רבה עוד פעם, מהממת, הייתה סדנה נהדרת, תודה רבה, and thank you very much for our friends from all over the world, from Nigeria and from, I don't know, whatever you are, Romania, right? And you are most welcome to come with us every Sunday, once a month. We're going to do it in English, and you can understand everything. In the other times, you can learn Hebrew, and then you can enjoy with us also twice a week. So thank you very much. Regards everybody. תודה רבה, נשיקות, חיבוקים.
תודה, thank you.
עד הפעם הבאה.
חודש טוב.
דן, הפתעת אותי.
תודה רבה, דליה. להתראות לכולם. ביי ביי.
חודש טוב לכולם, חודש טוב.